Ambassador Pradeep Kapoor, also on the telecast with me. Ambassador Kapoor, how do you view the situation? There are condolence messages coming in from all across the globe, and that's exactly how it should be, condemning the terror attack, a reprehensible attack. At the same time, Iran has also come out offering its assistance in intervening in the matter and mediating peace between India and Pakistan. Now, does India really need external interference in the matter that it is very capable of fighting on its own?
Thank you, Megha. Well, I would firstly say that it is very reprehensible what has happened. It is very unfortunate. And my heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, and prayers for speedy recovery to those who are injured. And my starting point would be that actions have to be taken by India and by the global community to ensure that such an act is not repeated again. Now, if there are other countries who want to mediate, they should be asked to do that in terms of counseling Pakistan to see how it can change its ways, change its path. Because, as I had been saying earlier also, for a country like Pakistan, which has received so much development aid from 1947, and in 2025, what it has to show for it is absolutely very, very pathetic. So, for a country which is one of the highest recipients of development aid in the world, for the return on investment to be so little, the world has to start asking questions. The IMF has to stop all further loans to Pakistan completely, so that they understand that they cannot use this money for wrong purposes, including for aiding and abetting terrorism in different ways, or finding its way to the pockets of the army generals. So sanctions have to be imposed by the authorities in different agencies like the UN. UN has made a strong statement. It's one of the strongest statements coming out which I have observed in the last few decades on an incident like this. It is very commendable, but that is not enough. They have to impose sanctions. They have to blacklist Pakistan. They have to put Pakistan on the terrorism list, state sponsor of terrorism, so that automatically other countries also are able to impose sanctions. Pakistan has to be thrown out of the Commonwealth till it sort of apologizes to the international community and takes action against the terrorists. Similarly, the World Bank, the ADB, all the multilateral agencies have also to halt all the projects in Pakistan till Pakistan stops its support for terrorism and
Okay.
realizes that their future has to lie towards the path of development. Now, about Donald Trump's statement, Mega, I do not want to dispute that in any way, because what he says sometimes has a different meaning. He is expressing it in a different way. Yes, India, in Bharat, Hindu Muslim troubles have been going on for 1500 years, since the time the Muslims first came into Hindustan, Bharat. There have been genocidal attacks on Hindus for the last 1500 years. So when he says that this problem is 1500 years, it makes a lot of sense to me, because he's talking about Hindu Muslim issues and the genocide of Hindus at the hands of the Muslim rulers. So that problem has to be resolved also, and has to be acknowledged also, and has to be put on the front pages of the mainstream media to understand as to what transpired in these last 1500 years. Now, for, like in Kargil, at some stage, some of the Americans had intervened, and then India had sort of gone back on the offensive and claimed back the territory which Pakistan had dubiously taken over. So, similarly, while we do not need their support in terms of the military aspect for sorting out this issue, but getting their moral support, getting their support in international agencies, getting their support to talk to the Pakistani generals, because Pakistan is not a country, it's an army with a country. So the people who make the decisions there are the army generals. So to talk to the army generals and put some sense into their heads. And if anybody listens to the speech made by Asim Munir, and it is shocking that somebody who's head of the army and is de facto head of the country, can make such a statement. So for those people to be sort of talked to, it is very essential for countries like China also. China, India has to talk very firmly to China. China is already in a very precarious state economically because of the internal economic situation, because of the tariff war with
Okay.
US. So for India to say that we will stop our trade with China if you do not take strict steps and make strong statements against Pakistan is another step we have to take.
Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.